Hello to everybody out there in the world of Lyme and Bartonella. It's me, Sue, and I'm back again discussing the symptoms and my daily issues. And it's been a while since I did a video, but I'm still around. And it is becoming that time of year again where summer is just around the corner. And for those of us that don't live in warm areas like Florida and California, this is the time that it starts getting tough for us because of the heat. Yes. A lot of us suffer from like a heat exhaustion. And I have been this last 4 days noticing, excuse me to the gentlemen that are listening to this part because this is a little bit feminine, but I won't keep in the feminine topic for very long. I'll switch on to another topic. I noticed that the heat, of course, bothers me, but when it becomes that time of the month and Mother Nature wants to pay a visit, I feel real bad 2 days prior, and then I notice that I tend to have flare-ups more. Now granted, it could be the chocolate that I've been eating. I love chocolate, and we all know that Lyme feeds off from chocolate. And yeah, interesting. So a couple days ago I started feeling really off. I had gotten overheated and within 5 minutes. And I don't mean like overheated as in real overly overheated. I don't know if it was just my body reacting because the time of the month kicked in that morning. And maybe, the heat, all of it combined maybe. But I had gotten up and I had gone into Walmart. And my friend had taken me there. And I was just feeling a little off, and my symptom, like I've mentioned probably in prior videos, is my eye starts to feel like dry, and then that's usually the first symptom, and then I start noticing like cognitive issues, and the eye, then the numbness in the face right here. So I go in the store and I'm feeling a little off, just like kind of out of myself, a little off balance, like I always feel off balance, but a little bit more so. Just kind of like your body's here and you're here and you're on the outside looking in. And I got in the store and I'm trying to focus on what I'm there to get. And I got halfway through the store and the next thing I know, I'm almost like in a panic attack state or something. I don't know what it was like. I just felt so off that maybe I was breathing different. I don't know. I really don't know what happened, but I know I was trying to push the cart. I'd take a couple steps, stagger, hold the cart like this, and I'm trying to turn the cart in the aisle, and I'm banging my cart into the shelving things. I had one guy that went running right in front of me, and it's like your brain tells you to stop the cart, but you're still pushing it. Yes. So I'm like, oh my goodness, this sucks. So then my hand's going numb, and then of course from the knee down on the left leg, that's going numb. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to lean forward because everything's starting to feel heavy and just real heavy. I'm using my rib cage to push the cart, and I'm rushing through the store, and I get up to the checkout, and at this point I am delirious, and I could remember bits and pieces. I leaned over. I couldn't take input. Excuse me. I couldn't put one thing on the checkout counter at a time because the hand in the brain function wasn't there. So I just bent down, which I didn't have a lot because obviously I wasn't feeling good. I scooped up the whole pile and I just dropped it on the thing. And just that little bit of movement, dropping it down, I go to stand back at the counter or my cart, and I feel so dizzy. So I'm like, if I sat here and said I had a Bartonella flare-up, the girl would think I was nuts. I knew at that point that I could not take my hand and just open my wallet comfortably to reach in and take something out. And I'm like, how am I going to pay for this? So I'm sitting there and I'm doing one of these things. I'm jolting and jerking. And I'm like, this woman's gonna think I'm on drugs. So I came back with comment of, I'm having an MS flare up and I have got to get out of here now. I will have somebody come back in and pay for this stuff. And she looked all shocked at me like, you know, like I was having a heart attack or something. And I left as quick as I could, but I tried to push the car. I had to use my rib cage because that's the only thing that didn't require my brain and my body to push the car. And I would push it. I'd be jolting and jerking like this with all these little funky little movements. I'd have to stop pushing it. And then I'd start, and I'm trying to keep the car angled by having my arms rest on it and turn it like this. Finally, as I got over closer to the middle of the store before I got to the parking lot, I had asked this one guy whom I had seen while I was DJing. I knew who he was. I knew his family. And I said to him, I couldn't get the words out, his name, so I'm naming off everybody but his name, even though I knew his name. And he goes, yeah, I'm so sorry. I said, I know. I said, my brain's not working. First day with my new brain or something. Some silly comment. I said, could you do me a huge favor? I said, could you walk me to the door? Because he had been sitting on like a bench there, just like waiting. I said, I'm having an MS flare-up. It's the only thing that I can describe to somebody. I said, it's like an MS flare-up. I don't think I told him it was an MS flare-up. I said, it's like an MS flare-up. I said, it's from Lyme disease. I said, and I'm having a very hard time getting my legs to work. See, I could explain it to him because he was a farmer. He was easygoing. You know, I knew he was. And he walked me out because I didn't know if I was going to be able to get the cart out the door with me leaning on the cart. I didn't know if I needed, you know, him to walk like to the end of the car and like pull it a little bit and pull me along. So, you know, little things like that get really embarrassing when you have this, and just really annoys the crap out of me because I don't like to ask for help. And I mean, even though he was willing to do that, and I got into the car, needless to say, and I broke down and I started crying. I said, I'm so damn sick of this damn disease. And yeah, so that was my flare-up a couple days ago. And last week I went to my doctor, whom is so overbooked. I haven't seen her since November. And she took some more blood work to test on things. She went over my IGenics test and stuff like that. And she says, like the IGenics paper says, she goes, we already know you have Bartonella. She goes, I have no doubt in my mind that you have Lyme disease. She goes, consider yourself a Limey now. And she says, you've had it so long, there's nothing that I can do for you. And she goes, I'm not going to put you on any kind of antibiotics. She goes, I want you to start with diet. I want you to do a gluten-free diet. She goes, I want you to get the book Grain Brain, which is really good. It describes what grains do to you. She goes, I want you to read this. And she goes, I want you to do like a paleo diet. I want you to cut out all grains, and I want you to cut out sugar. Okay, I'm a carnivore, so I can pretty much cut out the grains, but I cannot cut out the sugar very easily. Lyme feeds on sugar. I live off sugar. Yeah, she says, so what you should do is go to the health food store, and if you have to have your chocolate, which they claim is really not good for you anyways, when you have this, it can cause flare-ups. She goes, I want you to get some just health food, dark chocolate only. I said, well, that's really the only kind of chocolate that I like, unless it's in cupcakes or cake form. But if I'm not supposed to have that, yeah, so has it been working? Well, I haven't tried it yet. I have to go to the store and stock up on fruits and vegetables, which are not my biggest thing to eat. I'm not a fruit fan. I'm not a vegetable fan. I can eat some, but unfortunately, the ones that I do like usually interrupt my thyroid. She says, don't worry about your thyroid. We'll focus on your thyroid. You just eat what I told you to eat. So that is where I'm at now. I'm going to cut this off here unless some exciting thing happens. And I thank you all for watching. Please feel free to go below and subscribe. Thanks again.